Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading. Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We have, for the underlying energy at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is sitting on his throne out in the middle of all this water. And chaotic water like this in the tarot represents volatile emotion and maybe some chaos, but the king doesn't care. He's in the eye of the storm. He is the most emotionally available of all the kings because he has a really good grip on his emotions and discipline of his mind. He's waiting for the opportune time to deliver this cup. His right foot is forward, showing that at any moment's notice, as soon as he feels the time is right, he plans to deliver this cup of love. And we have here, for the first card out, the Empress. So maybe he has his eye on the Empress. The Empress is all four queens from the minor arcana rolled into one person. So she is from the major arcana. And she has she's natural beauty with, she's sexy. She has very intelligent. She knows how to use her intuition. Very productive. She is able to bring her thoughts down into physical form and generate energy and bring money and pentacles into her life. So a really beautiful lifestyle. She is surrounded by this wheat growing at her feet, and this is representing how she manifests. She puts plans in place. She decides, okay, I'm going to grow wheat in this field. And then she makes sure that the soil is prepared properly. And she plants at the best possible time she can. And then she just leaves the rest up to nature and waves her magic wand there and says, okay, nature, do your thing and make me a beautiful crop. And it does. And this is her energy. She is considered to be pregnant with possibilities. So sometimes this can even represent someone who is pregnant. And okay, so this is a lover. So I feel like that this is the king has his eye on her, and as I'm thinking of her as he would love to be her lover. And this energy is talking about the sun is shining down on this. This would be a divine couple, like a power couple. If the King of Cups and the Empress get together, it would be a beautiful match. This is representing the clouds, and between them is representing the energy of possibly someone you have not met yet. If you're the Empress energy or the King of Cups, depending on who you are. We don't know for sure who's who yet, and it could be that way for the entire reading. So this is the overall energy, and this is just the beginning. So we have, we also have the Queen of Swords coming in here. So the Queen of Swords is talking about someone like she is interested in the King of Cups. She's got her left hand out, but she's been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt, and she does not want to repeat any past mistakes when it comes to love. This can represent the Empress's energy now. Something could have happened with the lover, and she is, in the past, and she's open to having love in her life again now. She has the Queen of Swords can represent one of the energies that the Empress is embodying at this time. Sometimes when the Empress comes out, there'll be, several queens coming out, and it'll tell the story of how she became an Empress. You become an Empress in the tarot by life experience, basically. So the Queen of Swords has learned the art of discernment. As I said, she's willing to receive, but she also does not want to repeat any bullshit. So she says, you better, if you're going to come in to me and talk to me, you need to come in correct, or don't bother coming in at all. And so she has her sword in her right hand, and it's off with your head if you should happen to try and do any bullshit with her. She has her head above the clouds, so she's got clarity and she knows where she wants to go, the direction she wants to be. That little bird in the background there can represent that she is an individual and she is independent. So quite often the Queen of Swords is someone who is separated or divorced. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a reward coming in from the Most High and the universe collaborating. So we have this lover's energy coming in. And when the sun is shining on something, that sun represents God. So this is representing, that energy coming in. And now also a lot of pentacles. The pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness. And of course, a big part of that in the third dimensional world is money. And so the pentacle energy is represented by a coin. Having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So it's more about lifestyle than just about, money. And so this is talking about, because she has learned this discernment when it comes to matters of love, maybe at that time she turned her energy towards pentacles and earning pentacles, which is a good way. Like if you are in a situation where you've had like a disappointment in love and you've had a divorce or whatever, it's a really good idea to heal before you get involved in another relationship, because you don't want to repeat the mistake. And a lot of times when people put that energy that they were putting into their partner into their business, or their career, it can be very affluent for them. And so this is talking about now, the Empress is now on a new journey. She's overcome, maybe she's not as cold now and she's ready for another lover. She has lots of pentacles now for staying on her destined path. So this is talking about staying on your path of glory. And so this is the new cycle that she's in. Heart healed from past love, and has been really focused on her career and earning the pentacles. And because the truth has come in, or the truth is about to come in. So this is another gift from the divine, and the universe conspiring to bring this in for the Empress energy. This is the Ace of Swords, is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. So maybe the Empress has been wanting the truth about something that happened, and it put her in this, very cold energy. She doesn't want to put up with any bullshit from anybody. And now maybe the truth has come in, or it's about to come in, and this will put her on a new cycle to have what she wishes for, which is the ultimate in love, basically. So this represents not just romantic love, but it represents, love of your children and your family, and love of life, basically. This is, maybe when you're a child, everything you wished for, like having the perfect partner and the children and the farm with all the animals and the, like that, pets and the neighbors, and just really enjoying your career and that kind of energy. So it's a really positive energy. And so this, if the King of Cups added his cup to this, we would have 10 cups, which is the maximum in tarot. And we have 9 here. So, but this card is saying stay focused. Don't get all distracted by energies that are coming from external forces. Stay on your destined path, because this is coming in because you are on your destined path. And yeah, in the past, I feel like there's been an energy where there's been some pentacles missing. This person is saying, look, I put all this effort into this. I put 6 pentacles of effort, which is quite a bit when you consider there's 10. And I only have 7 pentacles, 1 pentacle out of all of that work I put in. And where did this money go? Or what did I do wrong? Or what do I need to do differently? That kind of energy. Maybe I need to let this project go and move on to something new. And the sun comes in and is shining on the situation. And maybe this is what the truth is, what happened here with this energy. And the sun is saying, this is you when you were a child coming in. and that you were born to be happy, and you are a child of God, and the sunflowers are representing, following the sun in your destined path, and that's what you've done, and you deserve to have this happy energy coming in. This is the happiest card in the deck. And the sun shines the truth on the entire reading, and also shines all the happiness on this reading. So that's really cool. We can use some happiness right now. As I'm doing this reading, it's April 1st, so it's April Fool's Day today. And we have a full moon in Libra, which is about being in that mature adult energy where you're ready for a commitment, and and it's if you don't have a significant other, this is about how to improve your relationship. The full moon supports that that energy of supporting your relationship with your significant other, or finding a significant other. So maybe the King of Cups and the Empress are going to get together. I do feel that this Queen energy is talking about something the Empress went through in the past. Yes, and then look at this, because that was a quick cycle, because when the World card comes up, it means that you have ended a cycle. And it's saying that this loss of money and worrying about, your path and what did you do wrong, and that kind of energy is out the window now. The truth is coming in. So this is what's happening now, basically. I feel like this new energy is coming in. And, we're going to see what's going on. I feel like everything that this cycle is representing is talking about now, this worry about the truth and the pentacles and everything that you wish for is now, you don't have to worry about it anymore. We're at the end of that cycle. Now we're beginning another one. And it's going to begin with a commitment of marriage or partnership, if you're not looking for marriage. But this is representing the beginnings of the ultimate fulfillment that you want, that's expressed here. So this is talking about you have the down payment for the castle here, and but you still have the mortgage payment. And maybe the king has proposed now, and this energy, or is about to, and this is coming up, and you say yes, and so now you're planning the wedding, and then going to be looking at having, you'll have to put the energy into the marriage then, into the relationship, for it to be to keep making it more and more fulfilling. And then the Pentacles come in, and this is a long time waiting. I think there's some sort of truth that is being told here, and this is going to elevate you into a position. The Knights represent communication coming in, because they would travel far and wide for the Queen and the King, and go to different kingdoms. That was the only form of long distance communication that they had, is the Knight going by horse and traveling, to deliver a message, then waiting for the answer, and coming all the way back. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight of all the knights. But when he does come in with an offer, it's a solid one. And so maybe he's talking about this offer now coming in from God and the universe collaborating for you to get whatever pentacles you want, basically, is what it feels like. And so this information in the old days, I mean, it would always be in person, and it would be, it's unlikely it's coming in by horse. It could be in person, this information, but it also could be a letter in the mail, or a phone call, a text message, maybe an email. You might get, be on social media and get a message from someone. This is some sort of opportunity coming up to earn a lot of pentacles here, and be blessed with a strong lifestyle. The energy could also be like, watch the news, because what's going on in the news, just even for 5 minutes, find out what's going on at the top of the pyramid, and because that always has an effect on everybody below. And this is already, this conception of this energy is already in motion. So it's saying like this has already been launched, and it's on its way. Also, just because this is also on the Empress, if you are not wanting to get pregnant, be very careful then to take care of that energy, because this card can actually represent conception of a pregnancy, and this can represent an actual pregnancy, not just pregnant with possibilities, but pregnant. And I'm building a pyramid here, and this pyramid is the bottom line here is the basics of what's happening and the tools that you have to deal with it. This is the obstacles, and there's not much obstacle here. This is saying it's, you've been on your path and you're being rewarded. Interesting energy. Okay, so now we have the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles is representing you're in an elevated position. People are noticing that you've mastered your skill set, and they are wanting to collaborate with you, which is awesome. This card is saying be very careful who you collaborate with. Make sure they're in alignment with your goals. A lot of times this energy can represent someone with a special talent. Like this person, look at the beautiful sculpturing they're doing on this stonework. So this stonemason is really does beautiful work, and these people have plans that they're coming to him with, and they want him to do some work with them. The problem is here is that you have to make sure that you have to recognize that you're the one who's in an elevated position, that this is very valuable, the work that you do, and you want to make sure that you get paid and you're compensated properly for it, not in this energy here, and that it's in alignment with your goals. Like if you just got married, maybe you don't want to work like 60 or 70 or 80 hours a week, and that's what they require. Or this could represent, a lot of times in the entertainment industry, an actor, an actress, and now the director wants and the producers want you to be in the lead role. And so, which is awesome, but you want to make sure that the contract is strong in your favor, because a lot of times people end up getting breadcrumbed in those situations. It's like there's, so many examples of that. Also in the music industry. This can also represent playing for a professional sports team. And, scouts coming out and wanting you for their team, but maybe they want you they're paying more than another team, but they live somewhere that's really cold and you don't want to move there. Or you have a young family and you don't want to, be away from them. So it's making sure that any contracts you sign, make sure someone that knows about that, a very good lawyer that specializes in those kinds of contracts, looks it over. Sometimes this energy can be talking about secret society energy just because of the masonry. And this energy, it can be, like if there are secret societies involved, they have their own rituals, their own, their handshakes, their plans, they do things their way, and the group energy comes before the individual every time. So if you're not into that and you sign up for it, now you're into it, whether you want to be into it or not. Be very discerning about who you align yourself with your career. And this is talking about justice coming in. So maybe in the past, this is the energy that had, it feels like this is telling the story of how the Empress became the Empress. And so there could be justice coming in from a past situation like this, where you ended up with less money because of that type of energy, signing a contract that wasn't beneficial to you, or something like that. Something happened. And so the sword of justice is a double-edged sword. So when it comes in, there's redemption from karma, and then so karma is distributed. Some people receive karma and some people receive dharma. Dharma is like when you're receiving benefits from what you've done because you've stayed on your path. And that's being made clear here, that the Empress and the King both are on the path of their destiny. That's the energy that came in at the beginning, and this is now talking about the journey. We have this energy, and this is coming in from the spiritual realm, and it comes down. This veil behind her represents the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical world. So first, the justice comes in on a spiritual level, not just on a physical level. we have competition. So this is my Mean Girls card. This represents immature competition. This is the only card that where there's adolescence like this, and it's featuring a lot of adolescence. And this is talking like, think about narcissistic cheerleaders, and they're at a competition and they can see the other team is better than them, but they don't care. They want to win. They want to get that trophy. And so they'll find some sneaky way to get it done. And if they don't succeed, their mother will, or their mothers will. And so this is that kind of immature competition where you don't realize, once you mature, you start to realize that it doesn't matter what competition you're in. You could be with a team, or you could be on your own. You could be in competition for a position at work. You could be, in competition for the lead role in a movie, that kind of energy. But you recognize that, when you go for that interview, or you try out or whatever, it's about being able to be the best you can be under pressure. And so really the competition is with your last best performance, and always doing your best to make it even just 1% better than the last time. And if you do that, you're going to improve. And every time you go out there, you learn something new, and you use the competition as an inspiration rather than getting all triggered by it and being all caught up in the trophy. This is more about, and even if you're on a team, if every member of the team has that attitude, then when the team comes together, it's going to be a very powerful team. And then we have temperance. So the temperance is talking about being patient, because patience and having a good attitude are essential when it comes to staying on your destined path. A lot of times it'll seem like people who don't, who cheat, etc., they get ahead, they get the money, they have more, they seem to be having a better lifestyle, or they're getting benefits that you're not. And it's kind of hard sometimes to stay on that destined path and watch others who are not on it doing really well, and wondering why am I not being rewarded? Because the energy that of being on, being the best version of you, is satisfying in itself, basically. And when you're in that attitude, it's talking about being the best version of you that you can be, which is pushes you to a new vibration, higher and higher and higher. Every time you compete, every time you take on or have to tackle something that's difficult, it raises you up to a position where then all of a sudden you start being rewarded in big ways. And it's a reward that stays with you. It's not something that is just trivial or trifling. It's not something that just can blow away in the wind kind of energy. And this energy, a lot of people feel that this card represents the energy of an earth angel, which is, God, in the Bible it says God sends earth angels down to the planet, and they use their alchemy to make the world a better place. So her right foot is in the universal pool of water, and she has her left foot grounded on earth, which is representing these beautiful flowers are growing right where her foot is touching. And this is about staying on that path of glory. And the path of glory is being the best version that you can be of yourself. And the Magician is coming in. So the Magician is the first card that we come across. If we begin, the Fool starts out on their journey. The Magician, when the Magician shows up, it's saying, okay, you have all the tools that you need. They're on this bench here. As above, so below. So this is talking about bringing your thoughts and down into matter, into the third dimensional world, to make the world a more beautiful place. Not just for you, but for your family and you and the people you care about and close to you, and also for the universe as a whole. And this is talking about the infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond if you stay on your destined path. And you notice that the Magician here is pointing to this situation here with the Pentacles and wondering, okay, what went wrong and what you wish for. And so he's saying there's something here that you need to look into, and you have the tools to improve this situation. I feel like this could be everything you wish for. You just there's something you need to improve here. And once this truth comes in, that you will be able to do that. It's saying you just need to use the right tool at the right time. And let's see, what is he pointing to above? Oh, he's talking about quit overthinking it and use your intuition as well as your logic to come to creative solutions for this. So this person is actually, this is talking about resting. And it's also talking about resting your mind, like putting your mind to rest. That's why this sword is down. The swords in the tarot represent the energy of your mental intelligence, your ability to discipline your mind. And when I say discipline your mind, I mean like quiet your mind down so that you can feel and use your intuition. So these swords are double-edged swords. And so your thoughts are partly intuition, partly intuitive and partly logical. And if you only use your intuition or you only use your logic, it's hard to come to creative solutions that actually will benefit you. So this is representing hanging your mind on the wall, basically, and going inward to feel and meditating and praying and taking some time to isolate. And so this person is in the church. This represents the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. So the subconscious mind is developed by the time you're around 5 or 6, 7 years of age. And when you're a baby, you're like a sponge. You absorb your environment. And the people who are in charge of your care actually develop your thought process. And so because you're such a sponge, you just absorb that, and it's heavily imprinted on you well into adulthood. So the subconscious mind is really the thoughts of people that were in charge of your care and your environment when you were very young, rather than your own thoughts, because we can't remember that. Most people don't remember much before kindergarten. And then we have your unconscious mind, which is your soul's desires. So a lot of people will say, yes, I'm a human being and I have a soul. But from your soul's perspective, you are a soul that's traveling in a human body. And if your soul's needs aren't met, the unconscious mind will start getting really loud. And then we have the conscious mind, which is, your memory of what you did, and you have memory of it and you know it and you've been there. You have a good grip on that. You have a handle on that. When those three come together and they're not arguing with each other, basically, and they become congruent, and you plug that into your heart, which is about going inward with your intuition, what happens is then you're following your authentic desires. And this is like what's going on and the tools, and then obstacles, courage to face what you need to face to get there. And now we're moving into the heart's desires. And on this window, there's the word Pax on this stained glass window, and it's P-A-X, and it's peace of mind. So yes, it might be time for you to isolate yourself for a little while, go inward, and just meditate on what is going on, consult, pray, get an opinion from the Most High. Which way do I need to go? Because there's potential here, obviously, then, because the magician is pointing, do this and it will help you. Also, you need to let go of any regret. You might have This represents remorse and regret, this card. Have you ever heard of the saying of crying over spilt milk? It's like there's no point in standing there and crying over something that's spilt, because you're not going to suck the milk out of the ground. In this case, we have 2 glasses of wine and a third cup here that has something else. In matters of romantic love, this can represent that there is a third party energy, and it ruined the relationship. Like, it's lost. There's no way you're going to regain it. Whatever happened here is not going to come back. And so maybe that disappointment, this person could stand here for the rest of their life. And some people do, like they never get over something like that happening. And we have that on immature competition. And so the best thing this person can do is turn around and notice, hey, there's 2 cups standing. Pick them up and be grateful for them. Appreciate the fact, hey, I still have 2 cups standing, and walk down the path, cross over the bridge over troubled water, go to the castle and heal. And even the castle is half standing and half dilapidated looking. And so this energy can just be saying, you know, is your glass half full or is your glass half empty? This is sitting on the Temperance card. What is your attitude as you're moving forward? If you harbor, like if you're still holding a lot of anger and resentment about what happened in the past with the lover, it impedes your ability to open your heart up to this new energy coming in, this new cup of love coming your way. And then we have reconciliation. So reconciliation would imply, if there's reconciliation, that there was a need for an apology or forgiveness. And so you can forgive someone and not reconcile with them. But to reconcile, you pretty much need to be able to forgive. Sometimes this card can also just represent a reunion of some sort. So this could represent maybe the King of Cups energy and the Empress have known each other in the past and they haven't seen each other since childhood or whatever. Maybe they bump into each other and they're like, whoa, you've matured. I haven't seen you since grade 8, you know, sort of energy. And so sometimes that's what this card could be. And we just had Mercury in retrograde and it just went direct. So Mercury is about communication. And when Mercury goes retrograde, it's infamous for causing problems in communication and also, problems with technology, etc. But it also is the best time to revisit the past, to clear it up if you need to. You have to be careful because sometimes people from your past will come in because they want another chance or whatever. And you have to make sure that you are into that because generally, people will show you who they are the first time around. This is kind of testing you to see, you know, are you ready for the new love coming in? Or have you let go of the resentment and any energy and remorse from the past? So this card is a bit of a contradiction. Sometimes it can be, there's a lot of illusions in it, and sometimes it can be representing like your childhood energy, like so someone that you know from, that's what this cloud here with the lovers represents. Could be someone that you haven't seen for a long time, but someone that you haven't had an intimate relationship with in the past, but you know them. And the thing is about this card, it can talk about needing healing from your childhood. You know, when you first look at it, you think, oh, there's two children playing here and there's someone looking over them. And then you realize, no, that's a gnome and this is a little woman. And, you know, when you look at the little woman, she's young from the front, but she's an old hag from behind. She's got this white mitt on her hand. And this is saying, I don't want to get my hands dirty. Now, this gnome is trying to give her flowers, but they don't even belong to him to give. And so the old hag is like, we don't want your stupid flowers. They're not even yours to give away. No. But the young woman has not learned to quit people-pleasing. And so this is saying, are you still people-pleasing? Because you should be, you don't have to explain yourself why you don't want to get your hands dirty with these stolen flowers, you know. And these flowers, the white flowers in tarot represent innocence, but these are not innocent flowers. These flowers are actually from the nightshade family, and it's datra. And this is, if a child or a pet was to ingest this, it could make them really sick. So you wouldn't have this, you wouldn't let children play with these plants. And, but they're not children anyway, so we don't have to worry. But datra sometimes is used by shamans to create visions in ceremony. And that energy, though, is for adults, and it's shamans are experienced and they know what they're doing. This person that is watching over the children is actually someone that's walking away. So like, you know, the whole illusion of your childhood, you could have a lot of illusions about your childhood that maybe are holding you back in ways from your subconscious mind. So we have the Queen of Pentacles coming in now. The Queen of Pentacles represents someone who's very resourceful. And maybe because this didn't work out, you had to be very resourceful. I am pretty sure that this is, these queens, we now have two queens here. And these two queens can be representing what the Empress went through to become an Empress. And so she had to be very resourceful, able to make something out of nothing. and prefers quality over quantity. So this isn't flashing money around for the sake of it. This is just understanding the value of money. And this kind of money is representing generational wealth. So it's talking about a legacy that you can pass down to your children and your grandchildren. And we have now we have the Emperor coming in. So perhaps, see, sometimes what happens when a divine couple, a power couple comes together, they might be very different, but they go through a lot of the same shift in their life. Like they have a lot of experiences in common, even if they don't know each other. So when they come together, they have an understanding, oh yeah, I went through that and I went through that. And so now this is saying, like, this Empress energy, the king has maybe also been going through his own shift here, and now he's approaching the energy of an emperor. So they're matching each other's energy here. And then we have, oops, this one wanted to come out first, victory, yes. So this is talking about being in a leadership role. This is talking about winning. You're victorious. So whatever's going on here, if you rein in your emotions and you discipline your mind, your leadership will become obvious, and then you become victorious. And it's because you were able to rein in your emotions and discipline your mind. So good plan, congratulations. And the people that maybe here were think that there's 5 wands here and there's 5 here, they might be begrudging, but they realize, no, you're a leader and you deserve this. Awesome. Really good energy. Everybody's learning from it. And then look at ultimate fulfillment comes in a perfectly imperfect world. People say, you can have heaven on earth, but you can't. You can maybe get close to that. Would you ever have a perfect world? Maybe, possibly for a few hours here and there. But a perfectly imperfect world, you can accept, like, wow, like the best that it could be, having a lot of love in your life and really loving where you live, your partner and your children and where you are and, the country you're in and the climate and just loving your career and the clients and that kind of energy, just things going really well. And so this is talking about this transition coming in. There's a major change coming in when the Emperor and the Empress, and I do feel this is the King of Cups, is also been going through his own shift. But we're looking at this from, I feel, the position of the Empress. And maybe if these people have known each other since they were young here, maybe he's heard, through the grapevine, basically, what's going on here. And he's had his eye on you for a while, but he's waiting until the chaos settles down before he offers his cup of love. So this is talking about major change coming in. This card is coming in almost every reading right now because of what's happening in the world right now. There's so much happening in the world right now, like with all the files, and then there's all the energy out there, with countries fighting. Like, there's just so much going on, and it's kind of like, whoa, everything that you thought was going to stay the same isn't, and there's just so much new energy, and there's a lot of AI, so there's a lot of confusion about what's real and what's not. And so the Grim Reaper's coming through town with the change, and this older person is saying, here, can I give you some money? Can I bribe you? Just don't come through town. We don't want your change. But the younger children here are saying, here's a flower. And this is talking about the bloom and wanting the rebirth and the change. And then we have the Queen of Wands also. I feel like this is saying the change, the major transition is that I feel this is the Empress's energy when she's in a situation of true love. She becomes like the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is like a sunny disposition, like really happy, a happy-go-lucky attitude. She uses her intuition and her logic, and that's represented by the veil behind her, representing the spiritual and the physical realm. She is, she follows God, like she's on her path. And she has a lot of passion in her life. She has this little black cat. She doesn't worry about superstition. She's a great manifester because she's always able to come up with creative solutions because of it. And so this energy, I feel, is like a really good match, you know. And with this cup of love, then she becomes like, you know, the heart heals, and she doesn't have to be cold. Although she's going to remember that how she's going to still be discerning, and she's going to still know what it's like to not have enough pentacles and having to be resourceful, and what that's like, and have compassion for other people. And then we also have the King of Swords coming in here. I do feel that this energy is representing both of these. So this is saying maybe the King of Cups is someone, an Emperor energy. And this is saying he has a lot of love and passion for this Empress. And he also is very intelligent, and he uses his mind to earn his living. So this is someone that could be in politics. Your thoughts are expressed through your words, so it can be written or verbalized words. So this could be someone that speaks for a living, and a lot of politicians do. Also, it's someone who's very intelligent. This could be someone who also is in the legal field. It would be someone high up. If it's a lawyer, it would be someone who's a partner. This energy can speak of having, a really brilliant mind. So it could be an inventor, someone who is a researcher, could be a doctor, a surgeon that's at the top of his game. What else? An author, the best-selling author, someone who speaks, someone who's not using like hard labor, like physical work. They're more using their mind to earn their living. It could be a social media influencer, something like that as well, like, you know, that kind of energy. And so going from the bottom up to the top and back down again, we have the Empress energy. Something's been launched, this new energy, and this it's coming after this. The Knight of Pentacles delivers a message regarding what happened to the lost pentacles. We have this energy of being in an elevated position and people wanting to collaborate with you. The Queen of Pentacles energy is talking about having had to be resourceful. And this is, I feel like hooking up with the Emperor. I feel this is someone you know from your past. It could be like from when you were little kids even, and you just haven't seen each other since, you know, that kind of energy. And that after meeting the Emperor, her heart heals. Like, it's kind of like, okay, now she's able to be in her natural manifesting ability and happy again. And this is talking about, I feel like this is both of them together being being able to empower each other with their thoughts. And then this is a transition that is a real beautiful one. And that's the thing. So sometimes people are afraid of change, but, you know, change is the one constant. What do they say? You can always rely on death and taxes and change. And this is like, when they get together, they can have this, be victorious, have a really good life, like as best as it can be in a perfectly imperfect world. Both of them able to come to creative solutions and be able to use their intuition as well as their logic and bring that magic down. And the pentacles aren't going to be an issue anymore because it's generating it. And this is saying like everything you've ever wished for when it comes to love. So the cup of love comes true, and the Magician is pointing all the way back up to this King of Swords energy. So it's probably somebody that, you know, as I described, that has a cup of love for you if you're the Empress here. So there's been a lot of love stories coming out. This Libra full moon that we have right now is about that energy, about the significant other for sure. So if you're leaving you're like, hey, Colette, I like this right the way it is. I don't need any more information. This is a beautiful reading. So it's talking about really you know, the path of life, and how this is like how life is, and how staying on your, you know, doing the best to be the best person you can be. That's always the answer. Even if you don't maybe get everything you want, you'll be in a position where you can look yourself in the mirror and say, wow, I did really good. I'm happy with myself. And that's half the battle right there. So please do give this a like and comment if you have received benefit from it, and consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. I'm going to clarify for those of you who want clarification now. And so this clarification is from my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. And this is something that I began back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed all 64 paintings. I am now getting ready to put it out there, and I'm working on gathering the information. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they are in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com, and I'll put that in the description box below in the order that they appear here. This card comes out almost every time, transition, to begin. So this is saying definitely the King and the Empress are definitely going through a major transition here, and it's a good one. You know, it's not always that the transition is not a happy one. And we have some energy coming in here from lack of awareness. This is from the past, about and missed opportunities. It's sitting on this Lover from the past, and we do have the Devil energy talking about this temptation energy coming in. So I do feel like there was something that happened, probably for both the, you know, it's life, right? We're not always going to have perfect relationships in the past, especially when we're younger and we're maybe not mature enough to make a committed relationship. So the temptation, I always cover it with the next card up, because I want to see, you know, the devil sends a minion in to do his dirty work. So who does he send in, or what's it about, or and you know, does God cover it? And so we have disruption. What's fun for some is not fun for everyone. Yeah, that would be lack of awareness is a karmic space, like when you don't want to see what you don't want to see, and you know, the disruption that it caused in the relationship is here. Being in that energy of remorse, and that could come from both of the partners, you know. We live in, like, you know, live and learn kind of, but what's fun for some is not fun. Yeah, if your partner is, you know, with someone else, it's not fun. And then falling and failing in love is a matter of eyes. So this is about opening your heart chakra up. So it's unfettered after, like, healing from this energy. And it's a really good idea to do as much of that as possible, because, and learn to love yourself, upgrade yourself. The best investment you can make is in yourself. And the best investment would be to stay on your destined path. Like, don't become all bitter because of what's happened and then stay that way. I'd rather be better than bitter. So we've got the guiding star energy. This is talking about following your North Star. And so the star energy, the guiding star, is when you use your intuition, and your crown chakra represents that energy coming in. We have abuse of power. So yeah, you know, the truth is coming in. There may have been abuse of power, and that can be in so many ways. I mean, people, when you think about it, if you've never had power, how are you going to know how to use it? And so sometimes, you know, people are abusing power without even really wanting to abuse it, or they just don't, you know, and then there's people that go out of their way to do so. So this is talking about, we have 2-star energy here. So it is talking about, you know, this power couple energy coming through after learning the lessons, you know, that you learn when shift doesn't go the way that you thought it was going to. And then we have the Pisces energy coming in. So I just want to explain that when I do have the horoscope signs coming in, I'm not talking about, oh, it's a Pisces that did it. I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about the state of being of the sign. And Pisces is like the senior executive of the tarot or of the horoscope signs, because they are the very last sign. So they've been through a lot, and it's the most like this energy here, a mature emotional person. Generally, like this would be very much the King of Cups energy, someone who's in authority. And Saturn and Neptune are just both moved into the sign of Aries. We had 6 planets in the last few months move into the sign of Aries, and we have Uranus moving in at towards the end of April here. And this is really significant. One of the Pisces is ruled by Saturn and Neptune, and Neptune towards the end of February moved into the sign of Aries from the sign of Pisces, and it had been in Pisces for 14 years. So this is a significant change, because the Neptune energy is about how you approach life and your idealism, and then Saturn moved in with that like a few weeks later, or not even a couple weeks later. And so Saturn and Neptune are moved into Aries at the beginning and the end of February and the beginning of March. This is a huge change in the energy. It's like how things were going for 14 years are now changed with this Neptune energy. And so it's talking about things not being quite as dreamy. The Aries energy is much more assertive. And the full moon that we have tonight, it's Libra, but opposing that across the wheel is the Aries energy. And the Aries energy is about self-assertion. It's not so much about compromise like the Libra energy. So there's this push and pull. And we also have this on April Fool's Day. And it's, it's like this is a lot, and all those planets that moved into the sign of Aries, that's really a very unusual occurrence. So it's a lot of shift happening on in the astrological, in the universe, and this is having a significant effect on the planet. And it's like about authority, like and we're seeing that being played out in a lot of ways. We have the Aquarius energy. So yes, the Aquarius is about experimenting, like instead of like doing something the same way and making it work, and like fixing it if it doesn't work, and then keeping on doing it the same old way. Aquarius energy is more about using your intellect and being observing what works and what doesn't, and being willing to make small experiments to improve your progress. And if it's working, then double up on it. But if it's like not working, just quit doing it. And yeah, sometimes people, when they have expectations, and this is that energy of that other people think the same as you do kind of energy. Make sure, if you are signing up a contract and you're on this new journey, and you're in a, your people are wanting to collaborate with you, and you're in an elevated position, that you make sure you get the best deal you can for yourself. The one that pleases you the most, and not necessarily the one that you make the most money, but the one that is going to give you the best lifestyle. So having the courage to move forward and be in that energy and say, I am willing to go for it. I'm going to be the best version of me. And there could be scotoma from the past. This is clearly like this energy of the third party on here. But you're victorious when there's a blind spot, but once you see the truth and the truth comes in, that's when, like you can heal, because like, oh, that's what happened. That's why it happened that way. And so this energy, is also saying that the rear view mirror is smaller than the windshield for good reason. So you want to look back into the past, learn from it, and then not repeat it. And this is sitting right on this energy here of the, reconciliation. And then we have denial. What I don't know won't hurt me. Yeah, that's why you need to go inward. And that's this energy again here. We have the third party energy. Once you find out, it is going to hurt you. And besides that, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. I mean, who is this person? Are they healthy? That kind of energy. You need to know. What you don't know can hurt you. And so you need to be willing to, get out of the denial phase and say, okay, this is what's happened. Take responsibility for your part in it, because if there's a relationship, it's always a two-way street. And move forward. And the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So everybody could have good intentions. But you notice that things don't always work out the way that you planned them to. So you could have all the best intentions in the world and it doesn't work out. So, intentions are great, but, what good do they do you when it doesn't work out is the kind of energy. And then we have the Libra being a mature adult energy, as we spoke of, and that's that full moon that's coming up here right now. And this is sitting on the Emperor energy and the Queen here. And then at the very top we have the Empress. So I do feel that, this is talking about the Empress's journey more, and how she meets the Emperor who has a cup of love for her. I can't blame the cat on that. She's laying on my lap, purring away here, raising the vibration for all of us for healing energy. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please do give it a like and comment if you have. I really enjoyed it. It was lighthearted. It was nice to have a lighthearted reading. I will be back with another daily reading for you tomorrow. Bye for now. Sorry, kitty. I have to wake you up.